What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So today I'm bringing you something that when I saw online and I saw the photos of this thing, like a lot of people, I said, oh man, that's a must have because I just wet myself looking at the photo and I saw this cool like pictures like this, these cool angles. And I was looking at it and going, oh my gosh, that could make a tree drool. It's so cool looking. And what it is, it's written down below. It's the United Combat Commander Gladius Dagger. And it's a two-piece knife set. And I got totally excited. I'm like, oh, 1065 high carbon. All right, United Cutlery doing something right. So let's go over some of the specs, and I'll tell you why, when it came in, I was disappointed. This thing, wait, before I even get into this, check this out. I always rotate my carry, right? My everyday carry blade is constantly rotating. My last few days, like the last few days, I've been carrying the CRKT Fossil, right? Awesome knife. Freaking love it. Before that, my carry for a few days was the Case Tribal Lock, which I carry a lot. I love it. Before that, for like a week straight, in my pocket, I had the Cold Steel 4 Max, right? So you're looking at the cheapest knife there is the Fossil, and it's like 60 bucks, 45 to 60 bucks, depending on where you find it. And then you have that $100+ Case Tribal Lock. And then you have that, $500 4 Max. A $500 pocket knife is my carry. But today and for the next few days, my carry is going to be this guy right here. This is the Frost Cutlery FC 15GD. This is like one of those $10 pocket knives. You know what I mean? But you can see the wear on it. I use this thing a lot. This is actually a really good knife, and the only reason I'm stopping and bringing it up is because it's a budget knife. I did a review on this. This, I believe, is Frost Cutlery's probably best lockback they ever made, and I was completely against it because it's all gold and goofy. But look at it. I got to force. Look at that spring action, right? Gosh, it's such a nice little everyday carry type knife. Not too bad. So let's get back. So just thinking budgets. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, check it. I have a budget in my pocket right now. So just because it's budget doesn't mean it's bad is basically what I'm trying to say. That's what the message I'm trying to convey to you, what I'm trying to put out to you. So just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's cheap. That's very good. This we will find out. I haven't used it, but what I can tell you is that this grip right here is made for a child, I think. This thing is so skinny. It's almost hard to grab onto. So this is the Orla I brought you guys, right? And this is a little knife, and it's got just a little bit more girth in the handle than this thing does. This is just a little guy. And I'm just dropping the sheath. But for some reason, they decided to make a really skinny handle on this Gladius. But let's get over the complaint right now, and let's get on to this. This is a 12.5-inch overall knife with a 7.25-inch blade. The smaller one is 7.25 inches overall with a 4-inch blade. I wouldn't have a whole bunch of uses for it just because, you're looking at a 3-inch handle, and I could barely hold on to that with my hands, especially since this is like a 1/2 inch right here. They're both 1065 high carbon, dual edged, blah 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 blah, and it says they come with two very nice, with very nice 2-pocket sheath. Very nice set, premium. That's literally what they wrote. Very nice set, premium. All right, so let's get into this guy right here. As far as cheap United Cutlery nylon sheaths go, this is an okay sheath. It's stiff. It's got a little pleather end cap right there, like you'll see on a Gladius swords a lot. especially Gladius machetes, they'll do that. But it's not a bad sheath. It's not premium, but it's not bad. This, I mean, for a little tiny, probably maybe for feather steak and whatnot, it's probably not that bad. But I don't know. Is it premium? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I can move it. If I hold on to the knife, I can literally bow it. You see the bow? The fact that they used a high carbon steel, I was kind of impressed with that, because we're talking United cutlery here. Oh man, I can't even get a thing around. But is what it is. So let's go over. We have a hollow pin centered with a brass liner. You have a lanyard hole in the rear with a nice little skull poke right there. On this one, you have a hollow pin, the same thing, and you have another little skull poke, but it's not going to be made for that because what are you going to hit? It's going to be hidden in your hand. So it's just a little lanyard hole to maybe help you hold on to it. What are these going to be for? Well, it's a fighting knife. That's all this is supposed to be, is a fighting knife, right? The problem with it is handle construction makes it very, very hard for it to be a proper fighting knife. Can I take out a few eyeballs with this in a self-defensive measure? Hell yeah, I could definitely do it with this. But it is not comfortable. I mean, if you have smaller hands, who knows, it might be better, but my hands are so big that the pommel, you can see, is inside my hand. It's supposed to be here, right? My hand is supposed to fit in here like that, but I'm over the top. So there's just no way somebody with my size hands is going to get a good grip on this. Now, is it a multi-purpose knife? Can you use it for a survival knife? Well, let's say you need to process wood and you take that baton out and you knock this on some wood. Here's a good shot at being double-edged. You're going to go through your baton, especially with this peak right here. That is going to eat through wood like crazy. So for me, what is this? What possible use can I have for this? Self-defense, home defense type thing where you can leave it by a door or somewhere quick to grab and you can have it. I can hold two positions and fight both ways, so I can come down, I can come up, I can come across, I can come over, and having both can benefit you in that manner. Holding this one sideways, so this the hilt right here fits inside that little crease. That'll lock in my hand and that won't go anywhere. So I could literally, give a few ta-ta-ta-tas. And this one right here I can use as a slasher. That's what it would be. Outside of that, I'll see if it throws. Because for me, this feels more like a throwing set than anything else. I don't know what they have it listed as. Like a purpose. On the website I'm on, it has nothing. So I guess it's just, a cool novelty type thing. And, but we're going to see if these little novelty knives can actually get some work done. So let's take out these. And I know they're pretty popular and a lot of people have been looking at them because, they show you these awesome angles and you're like, wow, look at the Gladius, looks amazing. And it does. I think it's beautiful. I think that they did a great job designing and following through with the overall look of these things. I just don't think they did a great job the overall sizing of these things, the preparing for them to be used. Now it is full tang, but because this is so thin, this is like an inch right here, you have to think about it. If this tang is a full tang hidden, if this is this thin, think about how thin that tang has to be, especially when you start knocking a hole in it. Unless it doesn't, no, it does go because obviously it sticks out right here. I was going to say, unless it's two pieces, you know what I mean? But I'm looking at this design right here in the rubber and I'm guessing that that's about as thick as that steel is on the inside. So it's a little scary to think about how thin that tang is, but we'll give it a freaking shot. So let's go outside. Whoo, doggy. All right, so foist thing is foist. We are going to take this guy and see if we can't cruise through a water bottle. It did, but I'll tell you what. Let's see. We crushed it a bit, and I have to say that it didn't even, that swing didn't cut the bottle. What it did is it hit with such an impact it blew out the bottom. Anybody on chilly night knows what that's like. You just blow out the bottom sometimes. So that's a disappointing start. Let's see if we can even get some hairs here. I think so. I think it's taking off some hairs. It's kind of hard to tell. Not really. So shave sharp out of the box. Good luck with that. Good luck. Okie dokie. So we know that it's not a water bottle cutter. Let's see how straight she drops from 4 feet. That's not bad. Let's test the little guy. Yeah, didn't have enough gravity to pull it down. Roscoe, up here. Dumb dog. All right, let's do that again. So that one was all right. This one, hey, look at that. So we're gonna do a couple hard downward throws. Hold on. Hey, get up here. Yeah. Man, that dog of mine, I think this knife has more brains than that damn dog. All right, so let's do a couple hard downward throws. We're gonna start with the little guy, then the big guy. All right, speaking of big guy, he just knows when I'm occupied. And we shall continue. All right, so that was in there pretty good. It's in there pretty damn good. The little one even got in there pretty good. Let's do that one more time. Solid. All right, so now these are both long, long Gladius tips, so we are not going to do any prying, especially since they're both very thin. But let's see if we can't get through some nylon rope. Yeah, I'll tell you what. All right, that cut. And it was hard because I had to go at this angle because, cutting this way, I wasn't going to have enough real estate to cut through. So I had to cut from that straight part of the end. And so the angle was just difficult, but it worked. Okay. So it's not going to push cut, but it's going to cut. So that actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to do. That is not so bad. Let's see something. Let's take this little guy and do a light baton with it. Let's see. Processing some wood. It's still a high carbon steel. So in, theory, it should hold up. And right here on this one, it's double edged, but you have a flat spot right here. So who knows, hitting the rear might be pretty good for like campfire kindling, like some starter fire. So that's actually that was actually kind of useful. So the little guy right there, you can use to get some kindling started. That's not so bad. Let's try this big guy right here. All right. Now this is the one that's probably going to tear up the batons a little more because there is no flat spot. And it's doing a pretty good job on the baton. But if, worse comes to worse and this is all you happen to have, you know what I mean? Maybe you're out doing some knife throws in the woods and a storm comes through and you're stuck, and that's reality, guys. Reality is you never know when an emergency situation becomes an emergency situation. You know what I mean? Mother Nature is a freak. I love it. She's a freak. And she will drop dime on you with no warning. So can we use them for kindling? Yeah, both do the job. Let's see here. Man, I'll tell you what, that made some nice feathers right off the bat. I just lost them. Let's do I'll do a couple pulls here. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad for that. So can I get a fire going with this little tiny knife? Yeah, I can find some downed limbs and whatever, and I can process them. I can process them very easily too. Let's try the big guy. Let's try the big guy here. Now here's the thing, is when you go with a side grip on this, you're on an edge. So that sucks. But let's see here. Man, it does make sense. How did I must have made a bad shot into that bottle, because this edge is making the kind of stuff that ignites fast. It was pretty fine. So, all right, so emergency only. Survival, yes, it'll work. Let's do a downward punch with this knot, this little spike here. And wow, that made a pretty good dent. Let's see if we can show you one. Oh, all right. That was kind of cool. Let's see here. I got to get used to not putting my thumb on the spine, because there's no spine. It's just more edge. So, man, this thing will carve. I want to get a nice flat spot here. All right. Let's try this. See if I can balance it here. I don't know if I can balance it. Here we go. There we go. Took off the edge of that. So it's a capable little knife. For me, it's not great in the hand because my hands are big and these handles are small. But man, as far as that's concerned, that's not so bad. I know I can do a grab and stab. So as a fighter, this will definitely work. And the more I play with the grip, the more I can get used to it. It's still not a great grip, but it works. You know what I mean? It works. It'll get there. Let's go do what I think it's good for. Okay, so let's have some fun here. Let's go 5 yards. Since I have them both, I'm gonna try. Let's see. I'm gonna try this little guy first. Hold that knife in that hand. Let's see. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to generate enough power because there's no weight to this thing. Well, I completely overshot the target. It went right over my stump. That's what we call a fail. All right, let's see here. Oh, I hit a branch before I got to my target. All right, so let's see. Let's see if we can't find that little one. Oh, I see it. All right, so I got both again. Let's back up again. Let's see. Try and hold that big one again. It's kind of hard. Try not to cut my fingers being double-edged. Keep an eye on the dogs. Keep an eye on the target. All right, so let's see. It is so hard to throw that thing because it's so light. I just keep going over the target. All right, I got you there. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on, let me go get him. All right, I had to go look for that little one again. So this is proving difficult. It's really hard to find the balance on this little one especially. that didn't work. Let's try the big one now. All right, so the big one I found, I had to throw it from the tip. This little one, let's try this. Let's try throwing it the same way. Oh, I missed the target, but it was an absolute stick. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. So the big one, I think, with a little bit of practice, not even a lot of bit of practice, a little bit of practice, I can make that a thrower. That one could be in my arsenal. This little one, my hand size is making it very, very difficult to get this thing around on target. I mean, I am having no luck with this. The only stick I got was on a miss, and it was a stick below my target. Let's see. I can't hold it. I can't hold it. Let's see. That was 3 yards. 3 yards away. And I missed. There it is. 3 yards. It's so hard to get a hold of. That just becomes difficult. This one right here actually left my hand really nice. And at 5 yards, I think this one, just like that, can be a really good thrower. I'm talking a really good thrower. This thing, those last couple throws with this were flawless. Those are just nice. It landed good. It landed with power. That's exactly what you want in a thrower. This right here, not so much. It was really, really hard to get this thing to do what I want. Again, it might just come down to hand size. My hands are so big, it makes it difficult. So what do we know about this United Cutlery Combat Commander Gladius set? Well, we know that it will cut. We know that they're well balanced. We know that they can definitely process small wood. And this one we can throw. This one you might be able to throw. This one you might be able to do a lot better than I am because just sheer hand size, you know. But is it like a good $20 set? Yeah, I'd say for $20 it's good to have just some cool little set, especially a little home protection knife, you know what I mean, or if you're going to use it for like your, I don't know, wacky camp food knife. You got your little paring knife and then your steak knife. But you can definitely make something of it. You can definitely make something of it. If you want to use this little guy to feather stick and use this thing to process kindling, you can do that, or just use this to throw. You know what I mean? Shoot, you get good enough, maybe you could take out a rabbit, you know, who knows. But they're not horrible. They're not great. Not in any way, shape, or form are they great, but they're not horrible. And so if you are one of those people who have been looking into this knife thinking, what can I expect out of this? What am I going to get out of this? That's pretty much what you're going to get out of it. You're going to get a decent knife. The steel seems to be all right. You're going to get something well balanced, but what you're really getting is something that's crazy cool looking. And that's really what it comes down to. If you're like one of those people that just likes collecting cool knives, this is a cool looking knife to collect. That's without a doubt. Does it work? Does it have a purpose? Yeah, definitely. Why not? But it's going to be more of a fun thing than a survival thing. You know what I mean? Unless your survival means, you know, walking through the streets and keeping somebody at bay. Although there's usually no bays on the streets. That's why it's a bay. It's the water. So here we have it. There we have it. We got the little set. Seems to be all right. It's better than all wrong, I guess. So that's about it, man. I mean, the water bottle was a fail, but that might have been due to the angle I hit it at, because the way that this thing cut through the nylon rope shows me that the edge is much better than that water bottle would suggest. So I'm going to call that a fail on me, not on the blade, because everything else it did pretty good. So that's it, man. Ba-boom, ba-boom. I'm Donnie B all day. And until next knife.